Today we're going to talk about how we're dealing with all this rock. The method we're trying today is Dexpan, which is an expanding grout. You drill a hole and you fill it with this grout and it breaks the rock apart. Before we get started, I'll go ahead and throw links in the description for what we're using, the Dexpan. There's 3 different types and it's all based off a temperature range. We're using type 2 because that's the temperature range that we're in up here. That's pretty much the most common one, I think. Also the drill bits and stuff that we're using, they were fairly inexpensive off of Amazon for a 3-foot 1.25 inch drill bit. And they're lasting really well, so I'll go ahead and throw a link in the description for those as well. But you can see all this rock here. We're gonna have to be removing a bunch of this. So as we get deeper into the mountain, we're actually getting pretty close to getting in there as far as we need to, but you can see we've got a bunch of this rock that's a lot more solid than the rest of this stuff. So one of our neighbors actually used Dexpan to break up the rock for when they were digging their foundation. So we were going to give that a shot. It's something that I had seen early on and hadn't really thought about using. They said that they used it and it worked really good. We got our holes drilled and Junior and I are mixing up the Dexpan. It actually is fairly easy. You've got, we bought the box, the 44-pound box, and it comes with 4 of these 11-pound bags, and it takes exactly 3 water bottles, 1.5 liters per 11-pound bag. So Junior and me are mixing this up and we're getting ready to pour it in the holes that we drilled. One 11-pound bag should fill about 9 linear feet of holes. So I made sure I drilled more than what we're going to be dumping in here. But so I kind of messed up and I didn't bring my little mixing paddle, but mixing it with this stick. So that's the consistency that it's coming out at with their mixing instructions. And from what I saw online, that looks about right. So I'll start filling up the holes right now. Now I should probably figure out some sort of funnel for the next batch, but what I did is I drilled into this particular rock, and these should be about 3 feet deep, plus or minus. Try and fill them all the way up.
Minus the minus.
There's that one.
Minus the minus. Don't worry about me. Ooh. Oh. Good thing. Like, do I have even gloves on?
Yesterday we got the holes drilled for the Dexpan, filled them up, let them set overnight. Didn't really know where or how to drill the holes. We were kind of just experimenting with everything. But this big solid piece really broke apart really good. I have 2 holes in here. They're about 3 foot deep. And you can see how much of this stuff is broken up. I don't know if I can pull any of these chunks up, but it really split this guy all the way back. My holes are right here, and you can see all the way back in through here. It's all cracked up. So, and then we've got a couple little spots right here. There's a hole, and I can see where some of these cracks are opened up, and this hole is probably 2 feet deep. So my hope is that we get in here with the backhoe, and now we can reach in and grab and pull this stuff apart. So you can see here it's fractured back in here, and that should be able to just pull out. It's raining today, so we're going to hold off until we come up the next time, but we'll get all this stuff ripped out and figure out if Dexpan is actually a viable alternative to the Sierra Blaster, or renting a hammer or something. So let's see how this stuff comes out. I got a little ahead of myself yesterday, started ripping some of this rock out, and I forgot to record it for you guys. So let me show you how well this Dexpan did. Right now I'm pretty impressed with it. Let me get you up close here. This was the big chunk of rock right here, and you can see right here where the Dexpan, we drilled it and we filled up the hole. There's the first hole, there's the second hole, and you can see I've got the backhoe here so that I can rip this next little chunk off, but it's fairly well broke up all the way down in here for just doing a few test holes. I'm pretty impressed. This is a really good example of where we drilled down and filled this hole with Dexpan. You can see here's the Dexpan right there, and goes all the way down in, and it broke a big chunk of rock off right here, and there's a bunch of fracturing on this one. So I'm going to continue ripping this thing apart. Here's a couple chunks of rock that came off, and you can see where the Dexpan's at, where we drilled down, and that's where that stuff was at, and it filled up and broke. So you can see how well that pulled that apart, and that was 2 holes, and it was the outcropping was actually out to about here. So overall, really impressed with it. I just got a little ahead of myself yesterday, started grabbing some rock. Thanks for checking this video out. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.